How's it going, YouTube? Navysooner here. Well, I'm finally back, and today we're talking about getting ready for some SHTF. So, what do I mean by SHTF? Today SHTF either means World War III, probably Civil War II, and more than likely nuclear war, the way today is going. And I'm not fear mongering, I just know that that is a very big possibility these days, especially with what's going on over in Europe and everything. So I just wanted to get on here, and I am going to be going a little bit away from firearms. I'm going to stay with firearms, but I'm not going to be like, oh, this is a gun, this is a gun, this is a gun. I'm going to be more talking about what you should do for setting up guns, or different things like getting ready for SHTF or whatnot. There are going to be some gun videos, obviously, because I like guns, but the first thing I do want to say is stop buying guns. Yeah, I know. Some of y'all might get mad at that. I don't care, because, it's the God's honest truth. If you are just buying guns for having guns, or you like this gun, so I want to go buy this gun, so I got to sell this gun, or whatnot, you need to get what you need for an SHTF situation and stop and start using your money elsewhere. I don't know. I got this upper built out. It's pistol lower. The ATF hasn't come out with their bullshit yet, and even if they did, then go fuck themselves, because we have the Second Amendment, and they've also are entrapping people by saying that you can have pistol braces, and then saying, just kidding, and then saying, okay, you can have them, but you can't shoulder them, and then just saying, just kidding, you can have them. Now they're saying, obviously, coming out with a new rule, which isn't law, because ATF can't make law. But you really need to go ahead and set up like your primary fighting firearm. I have other ones. This is my 12.5-inch, but this is primarily what would be my fighting firearm. Now, you also probably don't want to hear this. You're probably not going to be fighting and kicking indoors. And if you are kicking indoors, you're not going to live that long. Especially in an SHTF situation. You're going to get shot. You're going to get blown up. Yeah. So really, you want to have stuff for self-protection or for different purposes. I would get my base loadout set up first, and then start going out and going away from there. You can also do other things while you're getting ready for the SHTF situation, but I would have a shotgun that has a longer barrel, so you can hunt birds with it. Also, like my Mossberg Maverick, it has a long barrel and it has a short barrel. And if I, for some reason, wanted to use shotgun for a home defense situation or fighting reasons, but unless you're in a big group of people, I think shotgun is dumb. I think your best bet for home defense is going to be a AR-15 or an AK-47. A intermediate cartridge rifle is going to be your best bet for home defense. Then I would go with, obviously, your pistols. I have like a duty size pistol and then a concealed carry size pistol. If you don't need to do that, you can go with your concealed carry as your duty size if you're doing like a Glock 19 or something. I have my concealed carry now is a PDP F series, so you can use that as a it's the 3.5-inch version. It's not the 4-inch, but if you got the 4-inch, hell, even the 3.5-inch you could use as like a full-size fighting pistol or self-defense pistol. Then I would have a 22 long rifle. Obviously for smaller game, you can do smaller game like squirrels and rabbits with shotgun too, but I would, so you don't have to worry about picking out pellets, I'd also do like a 22 long rifle. Some places there might be bigger game or bigger animals that you need to be worried about, or you might need to reach out to distances for some reason. So you'd get like get a bolt action. I have a bolt action 308. I don't really see the need for it in like an SHTF situation, because everything in the state of Texas that I might need to fire a bullet at, you can do with 5.56, 223. Our deer are like greyhounds here. They're like, I call them Texas greyhounds because they're so small. And then I'd go after ammo, get as much ammo as possible. With your shotgun, don't just get like slugs and buckshot for protection or whatever. You need the different sizes of bird shot or small game loads. I've got quite a bit of what I would use for duck hunting, what I'd use for dove hunting, and you can use those for small game loads as well. I mean, I obviously have like the buckshot and the slugs and everything, but I would definitely make sure that you have the shotgun stuff that you need. Make sure you have enough rifle ammo. I get it in what you start like stocking up in what you actually have your gun zeroed at and what you like, because I like 75 to 77 grain and it's hard to come by. So whenever I see something like that, I'll usually purchase it, and it's within a good small area when I go to group it or whatever, that all the 75, 77 grains are within a small grouping, or like within minute of man to be able to not have to worry about zero if you have to change your 75 or 77 grain, whatever company you use out or whatever. I also have like cache ammo that I would get for my 5.56. I have a bunch of green tip and a bunch of M193 that I could do as cache stuff. I also think that you should get into reloading. I've recently gotten into reloading. All these are a specific load that I have for my DMR AR-15, but every single one of my ARs is zeroed to that load, because the load that I am using is very accurate, like 0.5 MOA in that DMR, and then anywhere between 0.5 to 1 MOA in everything else I have. So I mean, it's a great round that I have set up, and I'm getting primers out the butt. I have a shit ton of these Sierra Hollow Point Bowtail 77 grain bullets, because I want to have what I need to be able to reload in the future. So I've become that range FUD, but the range I go to, there's not that many people, and they pick up all their rounds and put it in a bucket, so it's not hard, and I don't really look like a FUD. But I get all my stuff, all my brass, and then I clean it immediately, because if the world were to go to shit and we didn't have any power via a nuclear blast in the atmosphere, or like what just happened in North Carolina, where they're blowing up our people are shooting up power grids, or what's going on in Ukraine, where they're just destroying everything. Well, Russia's just basically destroying everything. I would clean everything like the second you get it, or like once you get like 100 pieces of brass, I'd just go ahead and clean it, because you don't need electricity for any of the other reloading. So I would really definitely look into reloading if you could. You need to get into purifying water, how you're going to get water. That's going to be a big one, because once water towers are empty, you ain't getting anything. And then even if they are running the water system, water can still be dirty. You're going to have to figure out where you're going to get your water, how you're going to clean it. I have a Berkey. I also have a ton of the filters, and I also have all the chemicals to do cleaning and whatnot for making sure that my water's good. I would also go out and start stockpiling food, like canned food, non-perishables. It's my neighbor. He lives about 200 yards that way. Yeah, I would stockpile canned goods. I would stockpile cleaning stuff. You need to learn how to start growing vegetables and stuff like that. Vegetables and fruits and herbs and all that stuff. You need to get seeds, and don't get like the seeds at the grocery store. Actually, that might be like an okay thing to get for the first 5 years to have it stockpiled, but those seeds go bad. And then I would also get heirloom seeds, because when you start planting heirloom seeds, you can use the seeds in those vegetables that you pick and be able to grow from there. We have recently gotten into some livestock. Get chickens, goats, cows if you want them. We have chickens, and we're getting ready to get some goats probably. And chickens you can use for meat, and you can use for early warning system actually, and then the eggs obviously. And then if you are on land like me, definitely find a way to be able to keep those chickens safe, because possums, skunks, coyotes, a bunch of stuff will come try and get those chickens. What else? I mean, you really need to start preparing for what's going to happen. Generators would be a great thing to get if you think that power's going to go out. I made my own solar generator using a big old 12-volt boat battery and cables and different things, and using a solar panel. So that's cool. Then I would also get gasoline powered generators, and also make sure if you're getting a gasoline powered generator that it's not garbage, because I've heard a lot of horror stories about people going and getting like cheap ass generators and like after like the first month they don't work whatsoever. I'd get something like reputable. And then also I would get ones that are like dual fuel, where they use gasoline, they can use kerosene. Yeah, I have a bunch of propane. I have a big old propane tank over there. That way I'll be able to heat stuff. I have a lot of firewood. We cut down a bunch of trees on the land lately, and they're all oak, so I can use the wood for firewood or cooking. That's great. You really need to start getting into more of a prepping and getting ready. Some people might think I'm crazy for saying you need to start prepping, but you really need to start getting ready, because this world's going to shit. And yeah, I've changed my mindset because of someone like I've been watching other YouTubers. I've been really getting into Risky Krisky. Go check his channel out. He talks like more tactic level stuff. And guess what? I'm not gonna go fight. I'm gonna stay here. I've got family and whatnot. And speaking of preps, if you have a family, I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. They're gonna get bigger. So you need to be able to prepare for that too. Not a lot of people talk about that, but I mean, world ends it's kind of hard to go into town and buy clothes or whatnot if you don't have anything to barter with, or if the town is like being ransacked by shitheads or whatnot. Like you need to get clothing for your children as they're growing, for you as well, because you're probably going to lose a lot of weight if you're got a belly like me. I'm pretty good at losing weight, putting on weight, losing weight, putting on weight. Get your medications down, because you need make sure that you get all the medications you need. I would get a bunch of antibiotics. There's ways of going online and getting antibiotics, like a kit. You talk to a doctor, the doctor prescribes all of them to you and it gets sent to you. It's just like for future, if something were to happen type thing. You need a way to be able to keep, if people with diabetes, you need a way to be able to keep insulin cold. If the world were to go to shit and like there was no power, say there was a EMP that happened, your refrigerator, so you got to figure out how to be able to keep things cold. Like an old way was to be able to dig into the ground and make stores that way or whatnot. But I mean, yeah, you definitely need to be able to do that. I'm not gonna, like I started to say before, I'm not gonna be this fighter or anything like that. I'm gonna stay here and protect my family. Plus, I have other skills that can help out in the community if like they need me or whatnot. Now, don't get me wrong, if something were to come close to me, I would definitely be a part of like the local fighting group to be able to protect the area or whatnot. But I'm not going across the country or to another world, not another world, but another country to fight or whatever. I spent my time in the military. I'm done. I have a very, very wide range of capabilities. I've got a very extensive training in medical field for a certain thing, but that training that comes with that, there's a lot more that goes with it that I didn't even know before I started with the training or whatnot. So I can help out with that. I worked on aircraft for 14 years in the Navy. I was an avionics technician, so I can work on electronics if electronics are still working or whatnot. But I also did a lot of time working with the power plant guys. I was in the line for a year and a half. I worked with the guys, the airframers, so I learned how to rivet and everything. So I know all that different stuff, and then I know farming because I've just been reading up on it. I may not like huge farming, but like small plot farming, like having a garden or whatnot. But I've been reading up and talking with a bunch of the local guys that do farming on a larger scale and learning how to do that and all the different things you need. And I've been getting into getting the stuff I need for that. So I have a wide skill set that is better served with me not dying. My family can't get taken care of if I go off and decide to go CQB freaking house for no damn reason, or go off and get blown up for no damn reason. So I'm going to be staying here with my family. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have to go fight. If you feel the calling and you would need to go out and do whatever, do it. Just go look at Risky Krisky, what he talks about certain things, because not everybody needs to be a door kicker. Not everybody needs to be able to fight. You need to get ready for what's going on to be coming, because it's coming whether you like it or not. And I'm not being a fear monger. I'm just look. I hope it doesn't. I really hope nothing happens. But I mean, it's coming. So yeah. That being said, I'm on a break from school right now. That's why I'm being able to make these videos. I'm gonna make about 4 or 5 before I go back to school, so I can upload throughout the semester and whatnot. And I'm gonna be starting clinicals here really soon, so I'll actually have a little bit more time when that happens. Maybe, we'll see. I think I am. I don't know. I just got done with my first clinical, and yeah, here in about a year, I'm going to have a doctorate degree. So that's where I've been. That's why you haven't seen anything since August. I did the same thing this summer, telling everybody. Um, if you want to donate to the channel to keep it running, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to ask for anything, but if you do want to, there's ways down below. If you want to, I have a Patreon, but I don't ever use it. I don't put anything up there and no one's there. So there's another way to be able to donate to me if you'd like. Also, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. That's like the biggest thing that helps me out, because I'm starting to get a bunch of emails about getting like sponsorships, but it's all like Raid Shadow Legends or going and buying a fucking tree in Scotland and saying, you're not royalty, by the way, if you do that. Being a lord does not make you royalty. It just means that you own land and like that. Anyways, yeah. So I've been getting like stuff like that. So I'm hoping to get better offers because I just didn't like what I was getting. And I mean, yeah. So anyways, like, subscribe, share share stuff with other people. Go look at Risky Krisky's channel. Go look at other channels, especially about prepping or whatnot. And yeah, Navysooner out.